So
How's
nice
it
to
going?
meet you. Good.
Behind
Literally,
the scenes, between the lines, and before the credits roll. This is Olivia. Welcome to Stardust Wonders.
want to say congratulations for graduating university. That is literally the
Finally.
biggest thing ever. Like
Yes,
it's such
thank
a
you.
big accomplishment, honestly, because you have to like go through so much, like classes, assignments, all that. So a big
Yeah,
congratulations
no,
on
it was
that.
a close call for not finishing, but thank you.
Mm. I feel you, I feel. Also, congratulations on your two shorts being at Central Coast International Film Festival. Literally, what a joy.
Thank
Like
you.
you're probably like up in the moons right now, like all giddy and everything.
Yeah. Well, and because my short, Unfounded
Yeah.
Woman, got
Hmm.
put into it, and I didn't even
Yeah.
know because Church of Phil, I did like it was a while ago. Like they're doing their film circuit now, but like it,
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
had been a while since I had even like talked to any of them,
Hmm.
and then I'm looking at the page for it or whatever, and I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
like
yeah.
the first feature of the day, Church of Phil, and I was like, oh my God,
Wait,
I'm in
did they
that.
not like tell you? Like you didn't know at
They
all until you saw?
No, I didn't know. I
Oh!
found out by myself. I also found out by myself, like the first time that they were in
Hmm.
a film festival. I also found that out just like from it coming up on like my I don't know if it was my For You page or my Instagram or
Oh my
something, but I
God.
was like, oh shoot, like people are gonna see my face that and I didn't even know. Like that's crazy. But yeah, it was
Oh my
exciting.
gosh. You literally learned with everyone else, the audience, everyone.
No, exactly. It kind of makes it more
Literally.
exciting. Like
Hmm.
I get the announcement and I'm like, oh yay.
Instead of having to hold back and keep the secret until everyone
Yeah.
else finds out. Yeah, I don't get it, but I get it. So, first off, we're gonna talk about the three important events that you wrote down to keep in your time capsule. And of course, you said attending a film festival for your two different shorts, and then your biggest audition thus far for your career, and being the Jackie of all trades for a short that you did. So, why did you pick
Yes.
those three moments? Talk a little bit about it if you can.
Yeah, I just feel like I did a lot this year and just like in general, I feel like my foray into the industry hasn't been very long, but I feel like so much has happened already
Hmm.
in it. And I just feel like these three were like the like if if you were to ask me off the top of my head, like what are three
Hmm.
big things that happened for you? I think that those three would be the first that like pop into my head.
Hmm.
Obviously attending a film festival where two movies you're in,
Yeah.
not only that you're in, but one of them was one that you like directed and wrote and all
Hmm.
that.
It's your baby.
It's just like super exciting and to like yeah, to get to like see it with like strangers, because like obviously I had like a little screening with like friends and stuff, but
Hmm.
it's different when it's people who have no like connection to you, like being willing to sit there and watch
Hmm.
things that you're in is always exciting. And like just getting to see especially the film festival, it was the Central Coast Film Festival, it was actually held at the theater that I have like a membership at. So
Mm.
it's like the theater I go to
Yeah.
like almost on a weekly basis to go watch movies. So to be able to see my face in like the theater that I go to watch every week essentially was like
Yeah.
super cool. And then yeah, my the biggest audition, I touch on it a little more in my little letter later, but
Hmm.
still haven't heard anything, but it was recent. It was due only
Oh my
last week, so
God.
fingers crossed that I hear something back from it. But it was for a streamer, and so the fact that I even got
Wow.
to do the audition was a big opportunity for me,
Hmm.
and so that was exciting. And then obviously just like um the short that I made, Unfounded Woman, I wouldn't I don't know that I'd even say that it's like my top work that I've even ever made,
Hmm.
but I did with the help of some of my friends, I wrote it, I directed it, I produced it, I edited it, I was the only like main actor in it,
Oh
and
my God.
so like it was a big project that got done,
Hmm.
and I think that even finishing it is kind of an accomplishment in its own.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the
yeah.
fact that you did all those different parts of the film is such a big
Yeah.
feat. Like, on the back, man. Crazy. Oh my gosh. Literally, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Just being able to do all that in one film. That must have been
Yeah, it
so
was for my
stressful.
it was kind of, I don't know, it was for my degree. Actually, it was my capstone
Mm.
project,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which I didn't even get a degree in film. My degree is in communications and media, but for our capstone they kind of were just like, do a project that's
Yeah.
going to help you in your career. And I was like,
Hmm.
well, I want to do film, so I guess I'll make a
Yeah.
film. And then I was
Might as
like, I guess I'll
well.
just do everything. I'll do everything. So here we are.
Oh my gosh. Literally, Jackie of all trades at that point,
Yeah,
showing everything.
exactly.
Okay, now career-wise, obviously you're in your 20s, you're not old, but you have experience now. Do you have any memories or moments from like the past that always comes to mind, whether it's like something motivational that keeps you going when you're like in the time of needs or just like being able to reminisce about the past? Like, is there just one moment that always comes up?
Um, I would say my one moment would more so be an accumulation of moments.
Hmm.
I I without getting into it too long,
Yeah.
I wanted to do this my whole life essentially. I know everybody says that, but like I mean
Hmm.
I was in plays when I was like 4,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like I've been an entertainer, and I was always told like, oh, it's unrealistic. You need to find something
Hmm.
realistic. And I know we all have like our own story of this, of people
Yeah.
saying like find a more realistic career
What's
path,
your
where it's like,
backup plan?
yeah, it's like people are literally doing it. How is it unrealistic when there's people out
Yeah.
there who are realistically getting it
Hmm.
done? But I kind of think I took that to heart, and I like spent a lot of like my high school being like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life,
Yeah.
because I had always wanted to do this one thing and everybody's telling me I can't do it. And
Hmm.
funnily enough, I was on a different career path, kind of. I got
Hmm.
an esthetician's license, and I was gonna go that, and then
Damn.
COVID hit, everything went, as
Hmm.
everybody knows, and right in like the midst of COVID, not everything was open back up yet. It was kind of weird.
Hmm.
I got a scare acting position at a local Halloween
Damn.
haunt, and it was full of people trying to do it. It was full of
Yeah.
people trying to be entertainers, actors, and all this other thing. And I was like, oh wait, like this is, I mean, like I'm literally doing it right now. Like, yeah, it's not in the
Yeah.
big sense that I'd always wanted to, but I'm
Yeah.
literally getting paid to act in a way. Scare acting is
Hmm.
acting. And so I always kind of go back to like just that feeling of being like, oh no, like this is something I can do. And like every time I think about like how maybe it's not working out for me, I think back to literally just 3 years ago
Hmm.
at the beginning of COVID, being a scare actor just because I thought it sounded fun, and being like, oh
Yeah.
wait, no, like this is something I can do. And since like all my friends and my family have been super supportive, like,
Hmm.
and I mean, they're like really the reason I can keep going is because I don't have anybody in my ears whispering, oh, it's unrealistic, you can't do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
definitely like surrounding myself with people and like reminding myself like, hey, everybody else that I know is doing it, so why
Hmm.
can't you, you know?
Just keeping that
Yeah.
motivation, like to keep going
Yeah,
and just having those little
exactly.
steps where you're like, I made it. Like, think back 5 years. I would have not have been there, but now that I've done that, I
Yeah,
can keep going. That kind of thing, right?
exactly.
I love that.
Yes.
Love that you have like your own circle of people supporting you. That's literally what
Yeah.
everyone needs to be able to succeed in
Yes.
whatever dreams they want is their people. So,
No, 100%. Yeah.
as an actor and director, and of course, you being able to do everything else, like makeup and everything, when did you realize? Of course, you said you've known since you were like really young, but was there like one defining moment where you were like, this is where I'm doing, like, this is where I'm going. I'm not going back. Is there just that one moment, or was it just like a culmination of everything, really?
Yeah, I mean like, yeah, going back to like the story of how I came to be
Hmm.
here, I guess. Like I was the kid in class when we were doing like the school play that was like, no, I want to be here, lead front and
Yeah.
center. Like I was never pushing back, you know, if
Hmm.
they wanted volunteers, I was
Yeah.
volunteering. I mean, like not even just the plays, but like you know, we would do like music
Hmm.
recital type things, and
Yeah.
I learned so many instruments in elementary school just for the chance to be one of the performers on the stage, you
Hmm.
know. So I'd say, yeah, for sure. I think my senior year of high school, I kind of started getting back into it a little more because I
Yeah.
took a video and film class, and
Hmm.
I just had so much fun in that class. We got to make like so many stupid little things. I got to
Yeah.
be our like the reporter on like our high school
Yes.
news, you know, like
I had that at my high school too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to do that and I got to like direct things. We did like a Scared Straight spoof where we like
Oh
pretended that we
wow.
were from like we were in the Scared Straight show and like we made like a little like skit off that. Like
Yeah.
it just I had so much fun in that class and from that class
Hmm.
and going into I started college as a film studies major. I think
Oh
that
my
like that really
gosh.
like I wanted
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to do something in film from there. I just couldn't
Hmm.
really pinpoint where. And then, COVID, scare acting, and now we're
Mm.
here, you know? So it's like, yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't really necessarily one moment, more so just like a bunch of moments where
Hmm.
I kept getting reminded of how much
Yeah.
fun I have making people enjoy art, like
Hmm.
being, whether that's as
Yeah.
the director or as an actor or even as a makeup artist who can make things come to life for
Hmm.
people.
Kind of just
Yeah.
all those moments solidified what you wanted. Just wanting
Hmm.
to be in something creative. Like no matter what role it
Yes.
was, you just wanted something creative,
Yes,
which
exactly.
I feel like a lot of people have like so many different interests, they can't pinpoint where they want to be. And I think that's where the struggle comes in, where they're like, I have to pick one thing. And if I can't pick it, maybe it's not for me. But I feel like they
Yeah.
don't always look at the other end where it's like, you can be everything. You can do it all if you want.
Yeah.
Like how you did your little short where you, for
Sure.
school,
Yeah.
your capstone where you did everything. I feel like not a lot of people have that mindset where they're like, I can do it all, but rather
Yeah,
they're
I
like
think even
just one.
yeah, I think even now like it's more uh, in order to kind of secure your success in this industry, I feel like you kind of have to be multiple things now. Whereas I
Hmm.
feel like in the past it was more, I know a lot of people even still try and say like, find your
Yeah.
one thing you're good at and like get really good at
Yeah.
that thing. But I think now, like, especially with how tenuous everything's been and
Yeah.
nothing is like for sure in this industry more than ever. I think with everything
Hmm.
going on, I think giving yourself multiple pathways to get there, I don't think is a bad thing. I think that if anything,
Hmm.
like I think that the original saying even goes like or yeah, jack of all trades, master of none, but better than being a master of one. Like nobody ever
Hmm.
finishes it, but I think that's true. I think
Yeah.
I like that I know how to do all these things, even if I'm not
Yeah.
perfect at every single one of them.
Hmm.
I'd rather know how to do all these things than know how to only do one thing and then not have the privilege to learn
Hmm.
to do all these other
I
things.
feel
So,
like just having the knowledge to understand how everything works and how it all fits together, I think that is so much bigger than just being able to do one thing. Because
yeah,
doing something creative, filming, TV, any of those, I feel like it's a team thing. And if you
yeah,
can't collaborate, you can't understand everyone else's perspective, it kind of
mhm,
doesn't work. So I feel like
yeah, you need to
what you
know,
have, you kind
the
of, yeah,
yeah,
the big picture of everything. But yeah, no,
exactly.
I totally understand with like social media, everyone's like on social media, they're like writers. Now they have to like be on social media marketing everything that they want to tell. And it's like not everyone can do it, but if you can, it definitely gives you like a step up. So
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, which we see a lot of that now. Like a lot of writers are
Mhm.
going on TikTok being like their own actors and then like marketing themselves so that they can get their stuff produced, which is amazing because we kind of need that.
Yeah.
So
Yes, I know. Let's let the indie craze come.
no, yeah, I
We
keep
need
on
it.
seeing people are like indies going up and Hollywood's coming down, and I'm like, with
I
everything
hope
that's
so.
going
I hope we see it
on,
happen.
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
with everything that's going on, it should be happening at this point. It's been a
Yeah.
long way to come. So
Hmm.
now that we've talked about the highs of your career, was there like a low point where you kind of doubted yourself and your creative mindset on like getting your footing in the industry? What kind of kept you going? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would say most of my lows come from acting.
Mm,
Which is like really like depressing to say, but I mean,
nah.
I think it's the most it's the place in my career where I get the most rejection, I think.
Mm.
Because with my directing and my makeup and like even PA work, like a lot of the times
Hmm.
it's not rejection, it's more so just trying to find the jobs.
Hmm.
But once I find the jobs, I'm not really getting rejected from them. A lot of times
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
people I know or friends of friends, and so they're like, "Yeah, come on, like let's do it." Whereas for acting, literally on a daily basis, I am putting
Hmm.
myself out there to be
Yeah, yeah,
told
yeah.
no.
Every no is a yes, though. That's what I've heard. Every no is a yes, and every audition kind of just gets you more into the work and gets you more prepared.
No, yeah.
But
I would
yeah, I
say like
definitely get
even
it.
the opportunity to even be able to get a
Hmm.
no is more than some people can say, you know? So
Hmm.
I definitely appreciate that, but it's the loud no's that hurt the most. I always say that I
Mm.
prefer to be ghosted. Like if I said in an
Oh,
audition and they don't want me, just don't
yeah, yeah,
tell me
yeah.
about it. Like I'll
Oh
get the
my
hint. If you
gosh.
don't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
back
yeah.
to me, I know that you don't want me, but it's the ones where they go, "Oh, we loved your audition, but we went in a different
Oh, yeah,
direction."
yeah,
I'm like, "Well, you
yeah.
obviously didn't love my audition
Yeah.
because you didn't choose me," which is fine, but I almost
Yeah.
prefer the ghosting. I even
Hmm.
recently had like a low.
Oh
I
no.
I did this like scene competition and
Uh-huh.
it was like scored because there was like a first, second, and third. And I fully went into this thinking like I didn't necessarily even think that I was gonna win. I did it kind of for fun. It
Yeah.
was like low stakes, just like something to,
Yeah.
act in front of people. Um and it was scored and I fully thought that they were just gonna put the scores of first, second, and third and be like, hey, these are the
Yeah.
first, second, and third people. No, they publicly shared everybody's scores. I got dead last.
Oh, they public
And
share
everybody
every
knows.
single person. That's,
Yeah, well, and I mean like publicly as in like just the people who were in it, right? Like it
but
wasn't
like
like
that's
put on Instagram or
crazy. I
anything.
feel like it
No,
could be
I
something
know.
very personal, like just to that person.
Yes. Especially when you're dead last. But I don't know. It's like it's kind of funny because this happened like what this
Yeah.
it within like within this last week, but I also just got booked on
Hmm.
two projects and I also had the biggest audition of my career that so far within like the
Hmm.
last month as well. So it's like, everything's so subjective. So it's like I can't
Yeah.
really take it too personally, but it's like it's just
Hmm.
so funny how that can happen, like so many good
Yeah, in
things
the
can
span
happen
of a
at once.
week.
This
Yeah.
one thing like can really bring it
Oh
down
my
for you,
gosh.
keep you
That
humble.
is crazy. Literally, that is crazy.
Mhm.
What even?
It happens. It's okay. I mean, I put myself out there to
Yeah,
potentially receive a bad score. They just didn't vibe with it. That's fine.
that's their loss, not yours, their loss. Because I mean, you did get those
Exactly.
auditions, so whose loss is it? It's obviously theirs. So, what is your process when you're acting or trying to tell a story as a director? How do you kind of approach those different character arcs? And how do you like juggle acting and directing together, kind of?
I feel like my process, like much of my life, is very chaotic. I don't necessarily,
I
I feel
love
like there's some
chaotic.
people out there, there's definitely people out there who could tell you, like, here's my step A through Z of my
Hmm.
process, and that's how I
Yeah.
get it done. I think we'll start with acting. My acting one is a little cleaner. I do have an acting coach, and so I go through, especially like my auditions and a lot of my
Hmm.
anything that I do on screen if I get cast on anything. Like I go
Hmm.
through it with him, and we do have kind of like steps that we take to break open a character and like, find your objectives and your mini
Yeah.
objectives and what's your history, and if you don't know a history, make up a history, raise the stakes so that you're not watching a boring character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I think my big thing for directing is making sure um like the humanity stays in the characters, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. Like I
Yeah.
know that sounds like super like
No, you don't
highly-tighty
want your
or
you don't
whatever,
want
but
your
like
characters to be flat. You want them to be three-dimensional,
yeah,
So I get it.
exactly. Like I um I want I want to look back on it and be able to see
Hmm.
the characters and not the actors, which I know is the goal for everybody, I think, but like I think that if you're not actively thinking of it, sometimes that can slip through.
Hmm.
Um But yeah, so and as for separating them, it's really hard for me to separate them. I think I don't even really like producing. I don't call myself a producer. I have produced
Mm,
stuff, but
yeah,
I think a lot of people could understand this if they have like producer brain as well.
yeah.
It's kind of the same thing with like director brain. It's a lot easier if I'm not involved in the crew part of it at all. But if
Hmm.
like for my film that I did, Unfounded Woman, like when I had to be the actor and I was also kind of the director,
Yeah.
despite the fact that I had a director on set, it was so hard for me to truly like step into my acting role
Hmm.
and like not think about the directing part of it.
Yeah.
So I think that that is something that I want to work on, like going forward, if I'm going to continue to try
Yeah.
and like be a director and a director actor in things.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's definitely easier to do one or the other and not do both at the
Yeah.
same
I
time.
was
But
gonna say,
yeah,
how did you
I
even
think just
switch?
yeah. I didn't. And
You did.
I think that's where I if I could do it again, I'd
Hmm.
probably take a little longer to plan it out a little more so that I could
Hmm.
feel super confident in my directing. And
Yeah.
it wasn't even necessarily a lack of confidence in my directing partner who did great,
Hmm.
and I truly did trust her. I think it's more so just I didn't give myself enough time to turn off the directing part of
Mm.
my brain to step into the character as it should
Hmm.
have been, you know? But it was also, I mean, I had a deadline to meet. It was for a class. I think that if it was
Yeah.
something that I was just doing on my own and I could have given it
Hmm.
more time, I think it would have
Yeah.
been a little
Yeah.
easier to step into, you know?
Yeah. Giving you more time to process and decompress and throw away your director
Yeah,
brain. Yeah.
exactly.
Oh God. Still talking about, of course, the industry. Do you have any hopes of what you want to see? Any like certain aspects you want to also see change or be better?
To an extent, I understand the
Yeah.
gatekeeping in the industry, right? Like it
Hmm.
if you make it too easy for everybody, then everybody's going to try and do it. And in that sense, it's going to, I think, become more gatekeepy because,
Hmm.
there's too many people trying to get into it.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a good middle, and I don't think we've hit it yet. Um, I don't I think that a lot of the people who we do, especially acting wise, I think a lot of the actors that we see in everything, people love to say that, oh, we see the same like seven people in
Yeah.
everything. I mean, like they're there for a reason, right? Like a lot of them are great
Yeah.
actors who have done the work and they got there for
Hmm.
good reasons. But as an actor who's trying to get there, it is
Yeah.
a little, it's a little, it kind of beats you down a little when you're like, oh,
Uh-huh.
I auditioned for that and it went to the same
Yeah.
person.
I feel
Great,
like I saw that
cool.
on
So,
TikTok. Yeah. People were saying
yeah.
how
So I think,
like there's an open casting call and it's only known actors. And I'm like, I
yeah.
agree with you, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep my
Yeah,
mouth
I feel
shut.
like it's I don't know that I don't have the solution for it. So it's hard to be like,
Mhm.
fix this because I don't have the
Yeah.
solution for it. But I
Yeah.
do think that there's a middle that we could be meeting. It's just not happening. You know?
Or way
But so
slower.
that's one thing. Yeah, and I think just like I would love, like we were saying earlier, I'd love to see the indie take more of a storm.
Hmm.
I'd love to be able to go sit in a movie theater and
Yeah.
see a film that wasn't made by one of these big studios,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
a good film that wasn't made by one of these big studios. But, we'll see
Yeah.
what happens in 2026.
No, I've seen a lot of like smaller actors like create their own production company and then start producing their own like indie TV shows and like movies. I don't know like
Yeah.
how successful they're gonna be, but I'm like slowly seeing it on social media and them talking about it, and I'm like, I really hope it works, but part of me is like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think it will, which is really sad, but I'm just like so
I'm hoping it
conflicted.
does. I mean, especially with all the streamers and stuff happening, and
Hmm.
like it's hard work, but you can get a lot of this indie stuff on. I know like Amazon is a kind of easier one to get onto.
Hmm.
I know I have people I know that have gotten their stuff on Amazon,
Yeah.
and so I think it kind of goes hand in hand with the gatekeeping thing because there is ways to get your work out there. It's just a lot of people
Hmm.
don't know how to, and the people who do know how to don't want to share that
Yeah.
knowledge.
I think it's because they don't want it to be
So,
so populated or saturated, which I understand, but at the same time, if you're not sharing it, it's gonna be a cycle of nothing getting produced. But
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
yeah. Okay. So now our next part is our a letter to your future self. So if you want to
Okay.
take a minute to kind of recalibrate, breathe, get into like that mindset, whenever you're
Get my
ready, you
clock
can,
out.
yeah, you can start reading your letter whenever you're ready. Like, where are you? What are you doing? What are you proud of? What do you hope you've held on to or let go of? So just take a moment to yourself, and whenever you're ready, you can start.
All right. Dear Riley of 2035, what a fake sounding far off year. I hope you're well. I imagine if I were to send this to you, you're sitting reading this in front of your wall of awards shining from the polish you just gave them. I'm kidding, kind of. I mean, I do really hope that you've collected at least a couple of those by now. I imagine we finally booked a couple of leads and some features. I'm imagining a rom-com, since that seems to be the type everyone wants to put us in, but I'm really hoping there's a horror in there. I've always been on the fence on whether I want to play a final girl or be brutally killed in an amazing display of SFX gore, but don't spoil it for me. I want to be shocked. In the current, you just got booked for two roles within the next month and also had the biggest audition in your acting career this far. It was, in fact, for a big streaming network, and no, you haven't heard anything yet, but it is still early days. Fingers are definitely still crossed. I also had a bit of a low last week with the acting front, but things must keep us humble, lest we let our egos rust our awards. You technically recently won your first award as well, so woohoo for Best Ensemble. Filmmaking wise, you put on essentially a one woman show with Unfounded Woman this year. And with all great one woman shows, there are in fact multiple women in the background making it run smoothly, and you had amazing friends to help you out. And also Nate, who I didn't put in here, but he was the one man on that set. Thank you, Nate. You did great. And you keep learning. You are in class, of course, who's surprised. You continue to grow your skill set, your mind, your inspirations, your motivations, and of course, your network. As of 2025, you have said to multiple people now that you plan on starting pre pro at the very least for that feature. You know the one. I hope you made it. I hope it touched people. And I hope you finally took some time on a project to make it what you know it could be. In fact, I hope 2025 was finally waving goodbye, for the most part, to rushed projects with way too close deadlines that don't give you the opportunity to shine as the director I know that we can be. I imagine we are happy. I imagine you have found the version of success you've dreamed and chased after, and I imagine it's probably still not enough. Not in a negative way or in a I'll never reach perfection type of way, but more so in a way that I know you. I know myself. I know that having a drive, a purpose, a goal to continue learning, to continue growing, to continue to push the boundaries of what I consider the best, that drive will never dull. Even when I'm sitting in my room of polished awards with a contract waiting to be signed on my desk and a feature script waiting to be read for approval. Keep pushing, and I can't wait to catch up. Sincerely, Riley from 2025, a way more believable, less crazy concept of time.
Oh my gosh, I love that. You literally wrote so much, but I'm like, that is the perfect letter, in my opinion. And I believe you'll get those awards. What do you think
Thank
your
you.
future self would say back to you now?
I think that she would be confirming some of these suspicions from this
Yeah.
letter, and I think she would tell me to keep pushing.
Hmm.
I if 10 year from me now remembers the full like breakdown and life
Yeah.
look at that I just had last week,
You're
I
doing
think she would
Yeah.
fine.
say,
Keep
"Hey, you're doing
going.
fine. Keep
I
going."
believe that.
I
I
believe
mean,
that.
you have done
I
a
mean,
lot,
you have
and
done a
yeah,
lot,
see, I
and
literally
I
foresee you
see, I literally
doing so
foresee
much
you
more.
doing so
You've already
much
done
more.
so much. You've
You've
been
already
on
done
red
so much.
carpets.
You've
Your
been on red
movies have been
carpets.
on big
Your movies
screens. I
have been on
mean,
big
you're
screens. I
getting
mean,
there. You're getting there. How would you sum up your
how
Slowly but
would
journey?
surely.
you sum up your
Slowly but
journey
surely.
so far? How would you sum up your journey? How would you sum up your
As of
journey
now? Through
as of now?
everything you've been
Through
through.
Um,
everything you've been through.
yeah, I'm just gonna give it some words. I don't think I could give it a proper summary, but we'll
Yeah.
say um thrilling, unexpected,
Hmm.
up and down, and motivating. Those are
You know
my
what?
words.
I love those words because it gives you a lot.
Yes.
Like just based off of your career now, it gives so much, but at the same time, it stays
Yeah.
mysterious. So it just kind of gives you
I always
motivation
want
to
to be
keep
the
on
mysterious
going.
girl.
Love that. Okay, before we kind of end our interview, what's next for you? Are you doing more short films? Are you venturing into that feature you were talking about? Any dream projects or actors you want to work with? Tell us. Tell us everything.
Yeah, I do have a feature that like I keep saying is in the works.
Yeah,
It's
I felt that.
I have notes. I have notes for it. I
Yeah.
need to write it. It's very briefly, it's kind of it's like a rom-com, but it doesn't end
Ah,
in romance.
oh, I've written something
Spoiler,
like
I guess,
that.
but
I've written something like that.
um but it's still I'd say it's still a happy ending, and
Hmm.
it's about it, write what you know. It's about kind of just like being the last single friend in your 20s and like
Yeah.
how that culminates and stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited for that, and I do think it's going to end up being a feature, if
Hmm.
not a very long short, and at that point I
Yeah.
would just make it a feature, so we'll see what happens.
Hmm.
I do plan on co-directing and acting in it, so we'll see how that goes. But I do have technically a short coming up. I don't know if I'm going to release it publicly. It was for a class
Hmm.
project. I haven't edited it yet, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. It'll depend on how the final edit comes out. That one was just a
Hmm.
quick one I had to get done for class, so I don't know how much I'm going to love it or not. But yeah, I'm hoping that the next year is more. I'm hoping to do more acting stuff. I don't
Yeah.
want to give up on directing completely, but I do. I've done a lot of the directing. Now I want to do more acting, So
Mm,
we'll see what
a little
happens.
bit of both.
Dream people I want to work with. I mean, oh gosh, there's so many challengers too, but with me. No. but
Oh, everyone, you heard it here first.
um but yeah, I mean, I would love to work with Luca. That he's I
Hmm.
love Luca.
Yeah.
So like as an actor, I'd love to work with him as a director. Um and I really do love Josh O'Connor as an actor. Would love to work with him. But that I can't imagine would happen anytime in the first half of 2026 at least. Maybe the second half though. We'll keep a big
The
mind, keep
middle.
big
The
dreams
middle. The
alive.
summer.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you so much for doing this little interview with me. And I hope that I hope you finish that short that you're editing and that
Me too.
feature.
Yes.
Start writing that feature.
I know, I need to.
But yeah, so thank you so much for doing this. And hopefully we'll see each other next time.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.